doing with your fingers?
I was showing everybody what a professional outfit we are. I was counting you down.
Yeah, we've been called many things. Professional is not one of them. All right, so who wants
I'm professional.
to Actually, you know what? Before we do the recap, I'm going to do the one thing that we always forget. Everyone, roll your fate dice. Force dice, I should say.
Just one?
Just one.
Oh, look at me with the light side.
So you got 2 light. We got 1 dark. We got another 2 light. This is... You guys better actually use these.
Haha.
Yes.
Here's some dark side.
Does this mean we're going to actually be good guys tonight for a change instead of murder hobos?
I think the GM gets to roll too, doesn't he?
I agree with that. He should.
I don't. I probably, but we got enough people rolling.
I think Urban Zombie is echoing a little bit of... Wait, hello?
I hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
Felt like someone was echoing. Huh.
Hello? Is it me?
I can't tell.
I don't hear any echoes on my end.
I don't hear anything on my end.
Let me pop out and pop back in again. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay. Weird, I still hear it. I don't know why.
Do you have Twitch open?
Oh, duh.
There we go.
Now
this is why I work in IT.
Wait till you get his bill for troubleshooting. $175 an hour rounded to the closest 15 minutes.
That's why Chance won't ever hire me on his outfit.
That's actually what I charge.
Also,
I'll do it for $1 less.
the stream isn't...
Turn your camera back on.
Oh, I have to turn my camera back on. That's it. Yeah. There we go.
We need to have somebody that's at least moderately attractive in this stream. So yes, please keep your camera on.
All right, and then
if you insist.
I'm gonna roll. Wait, I don't know why I rolled for obligation. So I'm gonna go with 22. So who wants to recap while I figure out whose obligation's triggering?
I nominate Jacob because he's smart.
All right, No Notes Day is starting early. Let's go.
It wasn't that long ago. It's only a month.
Yeah. All right. So if you can help me place the beginning of the last session, I can get the recap. I want to say that we began the session in the middle of our negotiations with Honest Grick.
That would be accurate.
Perfect. So we conducted those, I think, quite acceptably. We managed to get him on as our mechanic with the promise, essentially, of glory and him owning the cloud car when we were done.
Yep.
We are still going to have to cover costs with the upgrades, so chances are good they're going to be pretty bare bones, but Altor has some plans. We will not leave this to fate or skill. We are going to go around and sabotage basically every other racer to the best of our abilities. Having done that, we had some other stuff to do in our day. Mainly, we received a distress signal from our boss, Toshkreth, and it contained some coordinates and some information. He was being hounded by some local authority, unspecified. But we gathered ourselves up, left Grix, went to the coordinates, and ran smack into the home of Delta QV. Say hi, Delta QV.
Hello there. How are you doing?
Delta QV is a little younger than she looks, but no less deadly for it. Be assured. We conducted a little bit of negotiations. We'll have Delta on board the team for the next little bit. But by the end of the day, Rin was looking a little jumpy. He had itchy fingers. So while we were out and about looking for some, and here's the bit where the notes would have helped. I've always forgotten the name of this gas that we're out here for. High explosive refined here in the city.
Tabana.
Thank you, Tabana gas. So while we're looking for a little bit of that to make careful and very tiny explosions, we have to keep reminding IG of this. We need tiny explosions.
Tiny explosions was my idea.
Yes. You were thinking slightly larger, though. Different definitions of tiny.
I trust his logic.
But while we're out for that, we decided to get in some recreational murder, kind of relax those nerves a little bit, and perfect opportunity jumped out at us, so the gang leapt right on that while Altor finished off his squibs.
Recreational murder. I like that.
Recreational murder is probably going to go on our business cards after this.
Oh, totally. So now we're right outside of a local, poorly secured refinery. Delta QV's eye in the sky sister has hacked everything for a city block, so we're free to walk right in, and there's a few corpses.
Yes.
All right.
Believe that's about where we left off.
That is accurate. So the one thing I am going to recap for the stream is if you watch any of the VODs from our last game, for the sake of not pausing the game and looking up rules for combat, we just kind of went with it. And really it was kind of a mix of 5th edition kind of ham-fisted into what I could remember of the combat rules for Star Wars. And after the game, I looked it up. And if you watch episode 4 VOD, don't go by how we did combat. That was completely wrong. So we're a little bit more refreshed on the combat rules, how the crit tables work. Each weapon has a crit threshold. You must roll that many advantage for the crit to succeed, or 1 triumph. And I think after we talked this through, Church, you're probably going to be going a little bit in an alternate direction from dual weapons. Is that accurate?
Yeah, rather than the dual weapon, I'd definitely rather probably go with a vibro sword rather than 2 daggers.
Okay. All right. So you find yourself, after scaring the living bejesus out of this Tabana gas night crewman, standing at the entryway of a Tabana gas processing facility. You look over the counter, and behind the counter is this kind of frosted glass window that overlooks this giant room with a bunch of control panels, levers, with a center platform right in the middle that has a bunch of tubes and pipes that kind of hang and drape down and all seem to run into the center of this raised platform.
Okay, since we have such a nice view, I'd like to identify where in the facility we might go to either get pre-stored in something portable gas or to draw some ourselves if necessary.
From looking through this window, you can actually see like a back room. But outside of that, it looks like this is just the main center where they might actually freeze the gas.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some type of refrigeration system in here as well.
That's kind of the center raised platform, from what you can tell.
Are we talking like carbonite or?
Yep. It's that's how they transport it. Freeze the tabana inside of carbonite. Big sheets.
So we could actually dispose of all our bodies in here and take home trophies.
If you had someone who could figure out how to use all the bells, whistles, and levers.
Everybody turns and looks at IG.
Yeah, can I do like a, I don't know, some sort of perception check on the on the control panel?
You could do a
Like droid magic with machines?
You could do a computers check.
Cool.
Hmm.
I'm gonna use a force dice so we can
Give
get
yourself
through
a
these.
boost.
Yeah. So take away a light, I guess.
So roll for me based on the age of all this equipment. I'm gonna have you roll 3 purple against your computers, and you get 1 boost.
Uh-oh.
So you start going up to one of the closest control panels. You look it over. You kind of start tapping your foot. You think you have this, and then you turn around to the group, and you're like, "It's too old."
Too old? Look at this. This must be only the 50 years.
A question. So I'm a bounty hunter and I have a hand scanner on me that I imagine I can use for like scanning people to like see if they have any bounties on them that I can collect.
Mhm.
Can I do that with these criminals?
Yeah.
You talking about us?
Yes, you guys first. But
The answer is yes. That's where all that obligation comes in.
see, I don't think she'd actually scan you guys so readily, at least not without your permission, because that'd be bad taste right now. Would not breed trust.
It might look a little suspicious.
It's
Yeah.
considered rude amongst the criminal fraternity, yes.
Yeah. You can scan them, see if there's any type of warrants, bounties,
Okay.
things of that nature for them.
I'll give them a quick check and then check it against the database just to see.
So while none of them have active bounties out on them, they all seem to be listed as associates or have past bounties or criminal backgrounds.
I see. Nothing's active on these guys. If you want, I can try to call in a favor to have this cleaned up a little bit.
Meh, this part of town is not so strange, but if you like.
Might make me feel more comfortable.
Could we maybe stage it to look like there was some sort of plant accident and they died to cover up our theft? Like some sort of rapid deconstruction of the factory?
I mean, I bet if we throw enough of these bodies into these moving parts, that something bad's going to happen.
Well,
Before we do this, let us find the gas.
also, that might bring a little bit more suspicion. I mean, a couple chumps dead, a couple like these are no bounties on them, but they're close to having bounties. A couple of these guys dead, nobody's going to bat an eye. Factory starts blowing up, people are going to start looking and asking questions.
So don't blow the place up.
Maybe not. It'd be easier to say that, say somebody, there was a third party here. a rival gang that came in. They were arguing over some territory, and the other gang made off with the goods.
Maybe just a fire then.
While they're contemplating industrial sabotage, Altor starts wandering towards the back room. He says, I will check for gas.
As you start walking towards the back room, the control panel that IG is standing by just lights up like a Christmas tree.
Uh-oh, what did I do?
And there's a computer screen on side of this control panel where just lines of code just start running from bottom to top, just going through.
Can I read it fast enough to understand what's going on?
Roll computers check for me. This one will be a one.
Just a regular one?
Yeah, a one purple.
Okay.
You recognize this as a set of lines of code where it looks like someone is remotely transferring money from this processing facility to an off link account.
Interesting. Hey guys.
Hmm?
Meet
Yeah.
people.
Meet people?
Yeah, meet people.
Delta does not answer that for and then realize, oh, wait.
Like people made of meat, or are we greeting someone?
No, I was addressing the people made of meat in my vicinity.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's me. I am meat.
You are one of them. I think somebody is hacking away this facility's bank account
And
while
as
we're
quick
here.
as it started, the the control panel goes dark and the screen flickers off. But right before it flickers off, you see what's the word? A nom de plume kind of flash on the screen real quick that just says Gray Ghost, and then everything shuts down.
Oh, the lights too?
Everything on the control panel just turns
Oh,
off.
okay.
Like nothing
Like
had
nothing ever happened.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we're gonna relay that to the group. Like we got a ghost in the machine just stole all the money from this facility's bank account.
someone other than us.
Someone other than us was heisting while we were here.
It's very unfortunate.
We were inconvenient cover for somebody else's crime.
No. Let's be completely clear here. We were doing a lot of, albeit fun, but dirty work, and somebody else just took all the credit.
Yeah.
Am I hearing this correctly?
We got to find this gray ghost.
Also roll a one purple perception for me.
Who?
Everyone.
Perception. What's my perception?
So we got two successes, one advantage, 3 successes, 1 threat, 0 successes, 2 failures, and 2 advantages. All right, Delta, you are the only one who does not notice this. Everyone else notices the security cameras that Delta's sister had previously killed, as well as the lights, have turned back on right after the hacking was done.
Everyone
Except Delta notices Delta notices the lights came on, but everyone else noticed the security cameras in this room. The red light underneath those cameras has just gone active. So you're all on camera right now, just standing around after money was stolen from the facility.
The moment I see that hood's up.
Joke's on you, my hood's already up.
Same, actually. I do have like a disguising cloak, which is nice.
I mean, I've already got a reputation.
With a rapid glance around the room, can I identify any place where the cameras are not pointed?
With yours successes, yeah, you do. In that back room appears, from what you can see, to kind of be going into the room has cameras on it, but it appears that nothing in that back room has any cameras.
So does Altor? No, Altor doesn't. I'm gonna take a chance here. Okay. I'm gonna pull my knife out. I'm gonna grab IG by the arm and hold the knife at him and kind of whisper, "Just go with it." And I'm gonna yell out, "Rogue droid, we've got to put him down!" And I'm gonna start trying to like drag him off and pretend like I'm fighting him.
Exterminate. Exterminate.
So I'm trying to like drag him outside, like making it way more of a struggle than necessary, obviously.
All right, and you're heading back like out the front.
Yeah.
All right, I want you both to roll deception for me.
Am I able to help? Because as he does that, I would like to run over and like activating the voice changer on me. I don't have like a fancy one that lets me to copy people, but you know, voice changer a dime a dozen.
I'll let you give both, since you had 2 advantages, but you had 2 failures. I'll let you give each of them a boosted dice to their deception roll.
Okay, I'm just gonna run over like I've got him, and I'm just like tackle him basically.
Ooh. Oscar winner.
Yeah, you both. You put on the performance of a lifetime, and as far as you can tell, anyone who would be watching this closed caption video would have the perception that this assassin droid just broke in and killed everyone who was here, and you, just being helpless bystanders, are doing a good deed with trying to drag off and put down this droid.
The heroes of Cloud City.
Everyone take on 5 fame obligation. No.
Lovely. While they're up to that, I'm going to be just heading for the back room.
Okay. So while everyone's like kind of putting on this like WWF performance of dragging a droid out, Altor's just kind of walking towards the back room, popping.
No,
he probably looks like he works here. In fairness,
yeah, he really would. Except for the fact he's like 5 times the size of an Ugnaught.
Mm.
He's big for his age.
Big boned.
Extra bones too.
So you make your way back into the warehouse, and it is just a storage room for empty sheets of kind of carbonite frames.
All empty, you say?
Yep, they don't currently have anything in them.
I wonder. He's considering to himself whether they have time to actually load one and whether he can operate any of this machinery.
So you could, but you're by yourself right now.
Mm-hmm.
The cameras have just captured what may have been a murder, and the rest of your team has kind of dragged and abandoned you.
Oh, definitely. It's
so
not wise.
It's kind of, you might be cutting it close.
Yes. We'll just note down that he did consider it.
And I will say, these aren't like, this isn't something you can pocket. I mean, these are big, like industrial. People who are buying Tabana gas for weaponry, they're not buying it in like little pocket-sized capsules.
Okay. He's just going to abandon this plan. We had a nice little outing for the evening, but we'll have to make do without it for now. On his way out, he will keep an eye out for any smaller, maybe samples they have laying around, test tokens of stored gas. But time to leave.
Does nobody in our group have a thermite grenade?
No.
Might be outside your budget.
I mean, just whoo.
I'm a bounty
Problem
hunter,
solved.
not a mass murderer.
I mean, it's not about killing, it's about cleanup, really, you know. I mean, nobody in there is alive. You wouldn't be hurting anyone.
No, but I don't carry bombs on me just for funsies.
IG, do you maybe have something of that nature?
Maybe. I don't know. Where do I see? No.
I mean, aside from the fact that you are probably a thermite, you know, destructible.
I think if I
So you just drag this robot out, and all of a sudden he just runs back in and just starts sabotaging stuff.
True. I mean, at this point, based on our performance, no one would doubt the fact that you killed all of us and ran back in and detonated the place.
But then I have to blow myself up, I think.
No, that's fair.
I think that's my core. I think that's my power unit. And I think I probably need that.
We do need you to pilot as well.
Yeah.
Also,
So I think instead of letting myself be taken alive, I would detonate my core. But
also, I think we should probably prioritize. Well, somebody ruined our job there. We should probably try to figure out who.
Well,
Yes, this is another murder for the books.
Dragos,
Definitely.
but we also need to get Altor out.
Altor's just strolling out of the building at this point.
Oh,
So
okay. Well,
Points. He has a cloak.
from this little start to tonight's session, everyone now takes 1 point of strain because you now have the paranoia from being caught on camera.
Right back where I was.
Church, you take an extra point of strain for paranoia in terms of your fame and bounties that you have. You're even more edgy that you've been caught on camera. You're a little more at ease with that performance that you put on, but that's gonna gnaw at you at the back of your mind.
I probably, let's be honest, am going to have some groupies after that performance.
I would like to go to the back where they plugged in the data spike before, and I'd like to plug it back in, and I'd like to call up my my sister and go, "Hey, so it sounds like somebody used your gate into this place, piggybacked off of it. Do you think you can track them down?"
She tells you that she can, but she'd need a little more to go off of. That the processing side is actually behind firewalls she hasn't seen before. The security system and the lights, that she exploited a glitch for that, but the financial systems were even more locked down.
So you'd need to get to that terminal.
Any information that you might have seen, if she had a sample of the code or anything that might have appeared on the screen that she could use to reverse engineer.
IG, you have you got a picture of the code, right?
Does the droid computer brain work like that? The droid computer brain totally works like that, right? I can
Totally.
Yeah.
I can pull back a
Why not?
memory. Like I'll plug in data spike and transfer over like a vid recording of my memory.
Yeah, we'll say it's
I
still.
mean, I'm an
fresh in your
assassin droid,
RAM.
but that's totally in my in my wheelhouse. Like,
You haven't purged it with all the numbers for gambling odds.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
yet.
not yet. That makes sense. Like, that sounds like something that would be in my base functionality, right? Like,
Yeah.
whatever humanoid designed us probably would have wanted like a body cam on their cop.
So you go into the best of your ability. You try describing the type of code that you had saw. Do any of you mention to his sister the name that appeared at the end before everything shut down?
Yeah, I'll mention the hacker moniker, Gray Ghost. See if that rings a bell for this hacker sister. Maybe she knows of this urban legend.
Wow, Grey Ghost. How lame. Chimera's so much cooler.
It's not a contest.
She does recognize the name though as a somewhat of a hacktivist on Bespin, someone who kind of takes from the industrial sector's money and is believed to redistribute it, kind of like a Robin Hood type character.
Okay.
But they're pretty good at what they do, but they have a little bit of an ego, and they like to leave their calling card at the end of any jobs that they do.
I see. Oh, do you think that's enough to get a bead on where they might be?
There is a kind of a bar that a lot of the, I don't know, script kiddies or local slicers like to hang out with, trade secrets, and tend to kind of share stories. It is in the industrial sector, a few floors up from where you're at.
Okay. I think that information actually probably like what was it? Her other sister, Delphi, probably pops on, just starts giving her like, yeah, if you're looking for something, a criminal, I think I might have an idea.
So we're gonna go kill this person, right?
And I'm open to ideas.
Because I'm pretty sure IG is not gonna let this fly. Me, I'm a very moderately mild individual with loads of opportunity for someone to redeem themselves. I'm willing to not necessarily just slide a knife directly into them. Like, I might just shave off a little or slice once or twice. But I mean, IG's not gonna let this fly, right? IG totally. And don't even get me started on Altor. Altor will eat somebody over this, right, Altor?
Boys,
I'm
we have much sabotage today. We have more time for random bar, killing stranger. We were not even here for credits. We were here for gas. And we have no gas, so now my work is harder. One group can go to bar. I will need one person with me for sabotage.
Who's the best person for that, Altor?
Well, you know, is for fight in case. So, yeah. Any, really? You choose. I have work.
I think the droid will go with.
I mean, I just,
You could do the stabbings, yes,
The-
but I think you need to go find, or you need to take QV and go find this gray ghost at the bar, or find out something about this gray ghost.
You can't see it, but Delta is looking at IG like, no, don't leave me with him.
It's
I want to
good.
be with the droid.
IG and I, we sabotage. You two may find Ghost. Not strictly necessary to kill. We could use Hacker, actually.
I just,
Yeah, we do need to recruit a hacker to steal credits from the auction.
Really, we should leave. He points at the corpses.
I just want to say
Fair.
that IG and I sounds like a phenomenal side adventure.
Me and my
Kind
murder
of
robot.
my buddy and me.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are saying you're splitting the party?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Fantastic.
Yikes!
No, I'm all for it in these types of games. All right, so it's going to be IG and Altor go for the.
We have several acts of sabotage to carry out.
All right, which act of sabotage specifically do you plan to do?
Well, there are, if I recall, 3 major competitors
Yep.
in the race. One is a solo racer and his droid companion, and the other 2 were teams.
Yep.
So we have got to locate them, which shouldn't be too hard. I believe we discussed it should be possible to find them in the public registry without too much trouble. It's your local info terminal. We have to infiltrate their garages and sabotage their cars.
That's a solid plan. All right. So, and is it the rest of the group?
I'm gonna make a cool roll to try and get my new buddy to fist bump me.
Go ahead and try.
You want me to add some purples to that?
Okay, so what would you say the base is? Because it's 2 higher.
I'm trying to remember what the counter to cool is. Looking that up real quick.
Here, I've got 3 cool. I'll add 3 purples. That'll be fair, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, you managed to get it.
Fist bump.
That's pretty
One
good.
Yeah.
success, 3 advantages.
And we're gonna say that advantage with you kind of win over QV, but while they're a little suspect to you, you've kind of dazzled them, and they're more intrigued rather than trusting of you.
Yeah. It's so Delta right now is still kind of sees Ren as, yes, this psychopathic murder person here. But at the same time, Delta wants to be cool. So play along, keep it cool, fist the bump. I am awesome.
So basically, I pulled a little bit of the old razzle dazzle.
Yes. You peer pressure me into fist bumping. It's like, yes, I don't want to be seen as a loser, so don't.
He just stands there with his fist on. He's like, peer pressure's a bitch. Just do it.
Nice.
All right. So we're going to say that QV and Ren actually make it to the bar before Altor and IG would have a chance to really make it to the top level and start doing a little bit of research on the other racers. So you walk into this hip and trendy looking bar in the industrial sector. Everything is like brass pipes, very shiny. There's computer and data terminals at every single table where food and beer or food and liquor is served. There's a lot of different screens behind the bar that have different just text and code that is just processing through them. Then it just looks kind of like obscure code to you.
Hmm.
Man, this is a terrible show. What the hell?
This is just I don't get any of this.
That is because you're an idiot.
Ow!
Are you talking to somebody openly or?
Oh, you hear her say "ow" for a second,
Oh,
but there's no other person that you hear.
I'm just making sure I'm not hearing the whole conversation. That might be weird.
She like glances at you. Stubbed my toe.
All right, so here's the deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch of gibberish on the screen. This is one of those bars where people go to get drunk and act the fool in hopes that somebody notices them and tell stories about them later, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the person we're looking for is not doing that.
They're more serious, you're saying?
Well, I mean, they were slick enough to slip in and get that and leave a calling card, but at the same time, I happen to know on the down low that a good hacker is one you never hear about.
True. This one does seem to have a reputation at this point.
So look for someone who's trying not to get noticed physically.
I see. Only wants to be known online. I get it. I will like keep an eye out, like scan the surroundings.
So
Same.
as you scan the bar, everyone you see there is wearing some sort of face makeup or some sort of mask, has hoods up. Everyone there is like kind of disguising themselves.
You're a lady person.
There is a look that says choose your next words carefully.
Do you have any makeup?
Yes. Makeup for my very human face.
Yeah. Do you have any?
No.
Uh,
Like ting 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 against the metal skull.
I don't know what's under there.
Oh, well, actually, I guess I should. He presses a button and like a visor pops up, and underneath the mat, like the skull, like almost it's not quite a skull, but almost like reminiscent of it, kind of like slides up like this, and you can actually see her eyes, and she seems to be human underneath it, like dark brown eyes, a little like tufts of brown hair,
So-
white skin, lightly tanned.
So, mascara, eyeliner.
Nope, don't carry any with me.
All right. I guess this is it. We gotta blend in. I'm not very good at these things, but I'm gonna go for it. So I'm gonna look for a lady near the exit, hanging out, maybe a little buzzed, preferably.
Oh, okay. You find a table of what you believe are there's one human lady and a few. There's a lady Twi'lek. There's a race you don't recognize, and an Ugnaught all sitting at a table. I feel like this is a priest, a rabbi, and a walk into a bar.
I'm gonna slide into their table, real smooth and cool, like slide right into the bench and like kind of put my arm around.
They stop their conversation, and they all stare at you.
Hello.
Roll cool for me. Roll.
It's going to be a good one.
Let's do 2 purple. I just.
Can I throw a force dice in there?
I'm I'm gonna
Yes.
no, you can to give yourself a bonus, and then you'll also get a bonus from the 3 advantages that Ren had given you earlier. Like you're that more confident that you made this new friend. So
So I don't know if it added the light side point or not, but
No, I just burned it. It didn't do anything.
okay.
one woman, the Twi'lek, stands up at the table. That's who you just put your arm around. She stands up. She slaps you in the face, storms off, and the rest of the table all seems a little smitten with you.
So who's next to me? Is it the Ugnaught or the other one?
The Ugnaught's next to you right now. So you have the Ugnaught next to you. You have the human across the table from you, and the species that you can't really recognize. They have a hood up, kind of catty corner from you.
So is the Ugnaught made up?
You can't really tell.
Hmm.
They
So-
seem to have washed their hair, if that's what you're asking.
So, ladies, I understand this is the place to be if you are in the know, as it is. And you ladies look like you are in the know. And even if you're not in the know, you are all about it. Am I right? I am so right. Let me tell you. I, maybe you've heard of me, am Rin Takamori.
So the human and the unknown kind of start whispering to each other. The Ugnaught kind of scooches a little bit closer to you and puts their hand on your leg, and says, it just kind of whispers to you and is like, "Oh, I know a lot of things."
I bet you do. I'm gonna actually put my arm around this little froggy Ugnaught and like pull her close and wink a little bit, make kissy face, and tell me all about what you know.
Should have sent IG.
Well, what I know a lot of things. What I'm particularly interested in, well, odds, numbers. How about you?
Well, I have a penchant for ghosts, particularly of the gray nature.
With that, she kind of takes her hand off your lap and kind of scooches away. And it's like, if you're talking about gray ghosts, it's just that's kind of just kid stories. That's not really anyone.
So I'm gonna lean down at the Ugnaught. Puppy dog eyes from hell. Pouty lips. I'm talking duck lips here. Total like blue steel moment. Please, do tell.
Well, I mean, gray ghost is just, I mean, everyone wants to handle like that. I mean, the person that, you know, just reaches out and
Yeah.
helps the down and the beaten, steals from casinos and from the industrials. I mean,
This
it's
is
no
my
one.
jam.
No one actually gets away with stuff like that. And if they did,
Bring it. Yeah.
she just kind of looks at you now and she goes, I don't. You might be at the wrong bar, mister. And with that, she kind of picks up her data pad and grabs her friends and leaves.
All of them.
Yeah.
Well,
There's such a thing as too much.
I tried. It's your go. I just scared off an Ugnaught.
Delta looks around and goes up to the bar, orders a drink real quick. Something a little bit alcoholic, but nothing too too spicy. She looks at the bar. She'll glance around and try to see if there's anybody who looks like they might know anything, an information broker of sorts.
As far as you can tell, they're all over.
So it's a shot in the dark kind of thing there.
Yeah, I mean, from what your sister described, this is kind of the place where information brokers and slicers and hackers kind of meet and do business, brag about their recent victories.
Actually, now I think about it. Hey, sis, you got any information on this gray ghost? Any contacts he might use? Because his sister's an information broker, essentially, Delphi.
Yeah.
So she has skullduggery and streetwise.
Let's go with Underworld, actually.
Underworld knowledge? She's
Yeah.
got that too. And I leveled it up last session, so boom, 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 boom. What's the difficulty?
For this one, since Gray Ghost is a ghost, we're going to go with 3 purple.
Oh, 1 failure, 3 advantages.
So she doesn't really know anything about the Gray Ghost. But she can she gives you some backstory on some of the jobs that the Gray Ghost's name's been associated with. Kind of some particularly big jobs, hacks of the casino, where the local kind of crime boss owns, is probably the one that stands out the most.
I see. Okay. Well, I've got an idea. I am going to kind of wander over to Ren and palm him one of my little, what's it called? Comlink. Then walk away as if we don't know each other. And I'm going to activate the comlink once I'm a distance away. And I'm going to say, I'm going to raise a scene. You see if anybody tries to sneak out, okay?
I'll stand by the exit, watching, leaning up against the wall, coolly, as if I'm skinning for chicks.
Okay. And Delta is going to crack her neck, roll her shoulders, tap her mask, and like the mask like over her face. And she's going to walk up and she's going to grab just walk up to some random stranger, grab them by the cuff, lift them into the air and go, I'm looking for somebody called the Gray Ghost. You got any information for me?
Urban, how do you respond to this stranger walking up to you, grabbing you, and yelling at you?
Good odds.
Whoa! What? You don't just go yelling "Great Ghost." And I'm sure that everyone at this point is probably looking around, eyeing what's going on. The glasses stop moving, even like the music stops and everything. And I looked at you. Don't just call out "Great Ghost." What are you trying to do?
I'm looking for him. I need to have a word with him.
Well, nobody's just going to hand you off information like that. What are you offering for people?
I'm offering, let's see, thinking here. Her small brain cells.
You just grab this person, threaten them, and then you're like, oh shit, I didn't think this through.
Offer to have me not stab them.
Yeah, that's kind of...
It is a classic.
Yeah.
I'll stand over by the door and like kind of pick my teeth with one of my knives and stare at him menacingly. It's a vibro knife.
Gray Ghost stole something from me. I need it back. And I'm willing to break anything and anyone in my way. So you're either here to help me or you're in my way.
Stole from a place we were incidentally at to steal something else from.
Details.
She's making things up.
Well, so looking at my character, you could tell that from his 5'10" frame, 160-pound body, that he obviously has no interest in any kind of conflict. So he says, okay. Well, just sit down and I can help you find this gray ghost.
Like eyes steal, like you're pretty sure you see like target reticles in her eyes, like narrow in and zoom in on you. And then she goes, okay, sits you down. Apologies. Thank you for being reasonable.
Oh, you're nicer than I am. I'll start moseying over.
I mean, I was completely prepared to throw him across the bar, but I mean, if he's willing to work with us.
So now are we doing? I'm gonna actually like meander over and kind of sit next, so we're like on either side of him, and just gonna put my knife on the table. I was like, so do we cut him until he talks, or are we doing this like your way?
Audibly, so I can hear.
Yeah.
we do it my way first.
Oh, okay, I'll sit back and just kind of wait.
So, what's your name?
My name is Arden.
Arden. Nice to meet you, Arden.
You two are who?
Delta QV.
Ren Takamori.
Yeah, I got your name. Because ladies there, yeah, smooth.
Yeah.
Right?
Obviously, you two don't fit in here, and so you're not going to get much. But I do have the information that you're seeking. That's going to cost you.
Okay. What's it going to cost us?
Oh, let's see. Say 500 credits.
So this is the part where we start cutting, right?
It's negotiable.
Looks at wallet, sees not 500 credits, sees 10.
You know, I tell you what, I'll just shave off a little bit. I mean, you what hand do you favor?
There's no need to get hasty here. We're perfectly reasonable here.
I was gonna go slow.
Tell me, how do you know this gray ghost?
He kind of looks around, kind of smugly. I have connections. I kind of know the place here.
I see. You got connections.
Yeah.
Well, like looks around, looks left, looks right, leans in. Between you and me, we might be able to work with the gray ghost. That bit about us, the bit about love. Yeah, a job.
What kind of job? The tone just goes seriously. I mean, straight face, straight question. What kind of job?
GM, the people that we're stealing from, they're a big, oversized organization, right?
Yeah, the job of a lifetime kind of shit.
Delta speaks in the vaguest terms possible about what the actual details are, but like she gets the idea of like, yeah, it's this big organization. There's a bit of an undertaking. They've been taking advantage of their employees and all of that. So we think this might be in the Grey Ghost wheelhouse. I understand he's got a good heart.
They were able to afford me.
Sorry, what was that?
They were able to afford me.
Yeah, well, it just depends. I guess we'd have to see what kind of big corporation you're talking about here.
So, real quick, did I notice that he used the term "we"?
Roll perception.
Any
That will be. I'm pulling up his sheet real quick. That'll be 3 purple.
Woo.
No.
Okay.
Good. So I'm just kind of still staring at you menacingly then.
Okay. All right. So
So,
we need to find out what kind of big corporation you're talking about here, and why are you guys in on this? What's your cut on this? Why do you want to take out this corporation?
shrugs. I owe somebody a favor, and I'm always down to help out the little people over the big guys.
Money. Loads and loads of money.
He and I are not regular associates. Allow me to make that clear.
Money.
He's got this. You know what's unique about him is compared to everyone else here is he's got his coveralls kind of like a jumpsuit on, and it's almost too tight for his own skinny little frame. In fact, probably not even for a human. You know, it's something that he's got from somewhere. He has his backpack that he slides over, and he pulls out a data pad and he starts going through the data pad. And he says, "Well, why would you go through the trouble of finding Gray Ghost when you take so much time, so much effort to find him? I could do this stuff for you." And he starts going through the data pad and he starts pulling out all these numbers, and just out of the corners of your eye, you can see the data scrolling. And he flips it over and he looks. He says, "This is the skills that I have, and I could do just what you're asking here. I'll take part of the cut here." And he shows you this. He shows you this corporation, and as it's going, it shows the hacking that's going on, and it's like going into business after business, and it's going in and it's shutting down their networks one by one as he's just showing it to you.
I have to ask, do I understand this? What I'm seeing?
He pulls it away. He pulls it away and says, "If you don't understand what it's seeing, then obviously I'm better than you at the job."
Yeah, I was gonna say based on your computer's skill, no, you don't, Church.
Yeah, it's like you're showing me like, what is this, Minecraft?
I save the
Whoa.
file with my neural recorder and and proceed to like go, okay. 1 second. And I'm going to like take out my little data pad and it's like,
what did we just see? Delta? What? I have no idea what I'm looking at here. What is that impressive?
we're looking at hacking. Delta doesn't have an amazing computer, but she's seen her sister work enough times to understand kind of what it looks like.
We need to be clear on something. Like, you use the term hacking, and I'm thinking I need to stab somebody. What am I looking at?
Not that hacking. Not that hacking. Calm down. Jeez. Okay.
Let's avoid using the term slicing around you.
Let's get slicing.
Whole new meaning.
Okay.
This is going to be a fun heist. Slice the computer. No.
Delta takes out the information off her neural recorder and forwards it over to her sister to take a glance at. Delta's not thinking about like, hey, comparing the two. And to be honest, Chimera is a bit of a fucking dick. And might not even bother mentioning, hey, this looks pretty similar to like the kind of code I was looking at the firewall. But what Delta is looking for is, hey, does this person seem legit?
Let's say yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this person seems to be pretty good. They'd probably be doing even better if you weren't distracting them with your talking.
Was that a cut at me or never mind?
You're doing that thing again where you're talking to someone who's not there.
That,
Do I
one
need
was
to worry?
all internal. I'll have to I'll have to distinguish the two somehow. But Delta seems to zone out for like a second, just checking stuff on her data pad, then goes, "Okay, you seem good. You seem legit. I looked over it."
Well, I'd be more than willing to help you out on this. But what kind of stakes are we talking here?
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Before we go any further, what's your name?
Arden.
What was it?
Arden. He said his name is Arden.
Arden. So, now we're talking about bringing you in on something that's extremely trust-based. Like, Delta had to kill 15 people just to get into our crew.
Kind of eyes over, unsure what to think of that.
Just sips.
So, before we trust you with the details of what is quite possibly the greatest job of your career, the biggest payout, the chance for you to go far and beyond your expectations of potentiality and possibility,
Eyes widen.
I need to know that we can trust you. Surely you understand, because what we're about to do is unheard of, never before seen, heard, or even talked about. We are about to go far beyond the realm of possibility and into the realm of something truly unique, something that will change your entire existence.
Yeah, all that stuff. I say with my charisma of 1.
Lips slightly. He's. Yeah, that's great. I'm in on this. What do I got to do?
All right. Tell you what, Delta, let's give him a chance. Let's put him to a single task. Nothing that gives too much detail, but something that will definitely benefit our overall plan. Let's get the security detail of the museum in full detail. If you can do that for us, the full security detail, I want names, addresses of the guards, schedules, and even, like, if you can get it, the proposed walkthroughs of the site over the next 24 hours. You get that, as far as I'm concerned, you're in.
That seems like a pretty tall task, but I think I can do that. I'm going to need some tools. We're going to need to get close to the museum. Which museum are we talking about?
You know, the big one.
Lord of Chance.
I'll trust we know which one we're looking at.
This
It's
one right here. I point to it.
It's the Fig Museum.
Fig and Associates Art Museum.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we get some tools to get us close. I can get you that information.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, let's do this
I
then.
think we got a deal here. Then he reaches out his hand to shake.
Ren will spit in his palm.
Okay. So with that, I'm gonna say now would be a good time to take our break,
A beautiful time.
and then when
This
we
is
return, we'll see how IG and I side adventure goes.
Side
Oh,
adventure.
fun.
We're the main event.
There you
Probably
go.
right.
I was really interested to see how that interaction was gonna go. I had some of the Bespin guard ready to storm in if that escalated into a fight. So no, it was good. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back and say about 5 minutes work for everyone.
That works.
Good.
Yeah, seems
Sounds good.
Fantastic. We'll be right back.
All right. A chopper.
And we are back.
It looks like Typo is
Yeah, I think-
audioless for a moment.
Yeah, no, that's fine. This is IG and Altor's time.
Mhm.
It's a party, isn't it?
I'm going to go on an
Yeah.
adventure.
So you had split off from the party to
Mhm.
where you're now made your way to the top level.
Mhm.
And what are you doing?
Step one, as we go, Altor turns to IG and says, friend IG, I must stop for food and coffee. Your generator should be good for another 1,000 years. I think you're fine. But if you want anything, we can grab.
Commentary. Organics have such delicate staminas. Perhaps you should consider some cybernetic implants.
I have considered in past, in my line of work, some would be helpful at times, but I just have never seen one that I trust, Even the best of the cybernetics, they were made by organics in first place. Have you met an organic you would trust to make something?
No. I was made by machines.
Do they make any cybernetics? He's considering this now.
Many machines make other machines. It's the cycle of machinery.
For the likes of me, if, say, I need the fifth arm for convenience.
Yeah, machine arms. All machine arms are made by machines these days. Organics lack the delicate dexterity required to make these delicate implants.
Agree. But I must say, I break these buildings so often. Some of these automated design buildings have terrible security flaw. Organic design buildings, not much better, really. But as we converse and go on, Altor is going to acquire what passes for a healthy breakfast by his standards. So just like some enormous pastry and what feels like an entire gallon of the worst coffee you've ever seen in your life. This is the fuel that drives him forward.
So while Altor's over at, I don't know, some roadside cart picking up coffee, IG's kind of looking for the central information terminal, like the city map
Okay.
kiosk thing. We're going to plug in
Like a-
there
like a
and
public terminal.
yeah, the public terminal. We're going to plug into the public terminal and we're going to look up the location of the garages for the three race teams
Okay.
in relation to where we're at now.
Roll an easy computer for me.
Gotcha. 1 purple.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So 1 success, 3 advantages. So yeah, you in short time actually go through. Not only do you pull up what teams actually have their cars inside of what terminals, you pull up some additional information for the teams as well. So you know that the Stormhawks is actually a corporately sponsored team. The casino odds of them winning, they actually have the highest odds. So they're kind of bookie favorites. They're in Terminal 1. They have their own private terminal, and from what you can tell, from what you pulled up, you actually were able to get some excess information that wasn't public record. And you can tell that they actually are most likely have kind of on-staff security personnel inside their terminal. The other terminal information we'll pull up is the Carbine sponsored team, which is actually a Hut sponsored team. They're in Bay 2. They have the backing of the Huts, so it's within reason to believe that they will also have private security. And the third team that you found is they're in Bay 3. They're the Tyrian Razor. They're actually the fan favorites. They're a little bit of the community underdog, but everyone really likes the driver Tyrian. He's full of bluster, but he's very charismatic. So that's
right.
the info you got.
Cool.
As Altor comes back, I assume he sees this. And he's letting IG drive this one, but he says, so these two, they own Terminal. What about Third? Do they own Terminal? Is that theirs?
They have
Yeah.
their own bay as well.
Did we get anything on their security?
Nothing that you can pull up. There's really no information on who backs them.
All right.
Mm.
Sounds
Well-
kind of reasonable that maybe their droid lives there and he's kind of their defense because he's also their gunner.
Yes. Could be. They're
But
probably softest target. Stormhawk's maybe most important target, though.
indeed. Gosh. All right. Do we have like some sort of cross communication? Can I call the other half of the group and have them meet us at Terminal Bay 2?
Have you purchased a comm link?
Oh, geez.
I have a comlink.
Can you call them?
Did they purchase a comlink?
I believe QV has a comm link, don't you? You're muted.
You're muted there.
We do have comm links.
Yes, I have two, in fact.
Because I know you have your private comm link. I didn't know if you had a public comm link.
I have the comm link, the two handhelds.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, you can actually we'll say you and QV before you separated ways had synchronized comm codes.
It's fair. It's fair.
Okay. Altor, will you call QV and have them meet us at Terminal Bay 2?
You want to start with huts?
No. We'll take care of Bay 3. And by the time we're done with that, we can meet them at Bay 2. And they will also be done meeting the hacker.
It's a good idea. Altor pulls out the comlink and calls QV to arrange this plan.
So as you're in the process of calling QV, you just hear the comm link activate as QV seems to be threatening someone.
Good time, bad time.
And then the comm link just kind of cuts off.
IG, I believe they are busy.
Well, it was a good idea.
It was.
Okay.
It's fine. We can handle all three, I think.
Fair enough. Where do you want to start?
We will start with 10. I think this is right. It's practice run in case sabotage does not take.
Yeah, all right.
And with that, Altor is going to drain off the entire top half of his Omega gulp of coffee.
I picture this like when you go to the gas station and you get those like big gallon, like insulated
Yes.
cups. Like you're just carrying one of those around.
Yes, that is in the bottom right arm. And this thing is almost oversized even for Altor.
All right.
But he drinks off the top half, and I would say his relationship is so profound with this variety of dirt cheap coffee that I'm going to burn a light side point, maybe even 2, to conduct the task I'm going to have him do here.
Okay.
Which is, based on his conversations with Honest Grick and his inspection of the Cloud Cars drive, is to come up with a method of sabotage that can be conducted in pretty quick order.
Well, I'll allow it, but you're gonna want to wait till you're actually at the bays because there can be a few different ways that you can
Ways
sabotage
anything
each
can go.
vehicle. Right. And some of them you may be like, hey, let's just break off this tail fin. Another one you may be like, hey, let's short circuit the computers.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll save it for then, but that's the plan here.
Okay.
He is thinking heavily upon their design, fueled by his coffee.
Okay. So which bay were you guys going to first?
3, Terran and Razor.
Okay. So you get to the bays, and it is just like right before sunrise. So the core staff and the teams haven't actually arrived. So like the pit crews aren't actually there working. So it's kind of an opportune time. But your window's going to be kind of limited because within the next couple of hours, people are going to be starting to show up to work. You're going to have more people that you might stumble across. So you kind of show up to this big garage where all of the exterior doors to each garage is blocked off, but you're able to kind of work your way into a public access terminal, and each of these rooms. So I'm picturing it kind of like when you go to one of those indoor storage facilities, you walk down a hallway and you have all the locked doors on your right and left. You show up to Bay 3 and the door actually seems to be unlocked.
Generous. Very generous.
It seems suspicious.
Altor will examine the visible surface of the door for signs that it has a sensor on it.
Roll perception for me. We'll make this a 2 purple.
There you
go. Investigating the door, as far as you can tell, it's nothing. There's a lock on it, but there's no data pads, there's no tripwires, there's nothing special to it.
Yeah, seems fine. He tries the handle.
All right. Well, let's go in and kind of scan the perimeter, scan the room.
If you go into the room and the garage itself is bare bones. Like you have his car parked right in the center, tools kind of scattered all over the place. Everything is covered in grease. Like you have seen barns where people have fixed up their vehicles in better condition than this terminal.
His style. I like it.
Told you we should have murdered everybody.
What? Nobody visible in the place? Nice and empty?
Yeah, as far as you can tell, everything's There's no security cameras or anything you can tell.
Wonderful.
Is
Well,
there anybody here? Are we alone
As far as you
in
can
the
see.
with the car?
no time like the present. Close the door behind us, walk up to the car.
Was there any sort of security visible between us and the car?
Nope.
Okay. Let's go fuck with the car.
Yeah, let's hit it.
What do you want to
Looking
do?
at it, is the engine cover off? Is it in like the middle of some tune-up? What are they doing?
Everything on the car itself is locked up.
Hmm. That sounds like the sort of thing I can get through. What check will you have me make to circumvent the locking system or its mechanical implementation?
Use like a skullduggery for trying to like pick the lock to get into it.
Sure.
You
what
could do
what
that
difficult?
or like a mechanics. For this, I mean, his car doesn't seem to be anything in particular, so we'll go with just an easy 1 purple.
Sure.
2 successes. So you just kind of find a thin piece of metal that's kind of just laying on the floor, shimmy it in between the window, short circuit the electronic locking mechanism,
And then I do this actually. I say, "Hey, IG, look," and then he pulls a Fonz. He kicks the bottom of the car, and the door pops open.
there you go.
Impressive.
You see, they're simple. All right, pop the engine cover. I assume these things have something analogous to a hood.
Okay. Yeah, hood opens up. You have access to everything, and it would appear you have all the tools to do whatever you would want as well.
Beautiful. I'm thinking I'm going to find a pressurized line, attach a coupler to it so it'll like, just have a little low pressure on it.
So
It'll have a tendency to have like not explosive failure, but like cavitation problems.
okay. Are you looking at trying to like slow its acceleration, or is there like a specific feature of a vehicle that you'd want to impact?
While I'm looking over it,
Or
I'd say to
multiple things?
IG, do you feel you wish to be faster than opposition, or do you wish to not be shot at?
I say crimp their fuel line in a way that they don't notice, so their engine cuts out shortly into the race and they can't keep up.
See, it's good thinking. So I will sabotage the speed / capability of the engine to continue running.
Okay. That'll be a 3 purple mechanics check.
All right. I will use my skill. I have Utini, and I will take parts from their garage to improvise this sabotage feature, thereby reducing the difficulty.
Okay.
Use some of the force dice too.
That sounds like a great idea. So, if I burn a force token, does this grant me 1 more reduced difficulty? How does it impact?
You'll
I forget.
get a blue bonus dice onto your roll.
Perfect. There we go.
All right. So you go, and as far as you can tell, you impact the fuel line, but with the advantages, you actually do it in a way based on your knowledge to where you're able to tuck the coupling that you put on behind other wires, so that way it's going to, even a routine maintenance check, it's going to be difficult to spot the work that you put into place.
Stands back up, clunks the hood down, dusts his hands off. He says, okay, next.
All right.
Oh,
So we
by-
kind of close
by the
up
way-
the car, and then let's leave this the bay. We're leaving bay 2. Kind of leave the
Bay
door slightly
3.
ajar.
3 you're leaving.
I'll
Sorry.
give him a
Yeah.
call back whenever I'm free, by the way.
All right, so we're going to say between the time that it took to actually put the coupling in place with the level of detail that you did, you receive a call back from QV at this point.
He's still working in the engine. He's holding the comm link up with one of his other hands. He says, hello?
Altor?
Hey, QB. We have begun work. Meet us at Raceway Terminal 2 when you
Okay.
have chance.
We'll be bringing a guest.
Living?
Yes.
Kill him if that's what you're getting at.
No, living.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Ordon, say hi.
Hello.
He's not
Hmm.
being coerced into that, so we're clear. Like he said that of his own accord.
Mostly.
I look forward. Well, I have several hands full, so I must continue, but see you soon. Goodbye.
Okay. See you soon.
Okay.
The urge to go. Love you. Bye.
Carefully puts all of the tools back, and then, as IG was saying, we proceed out of this one. And if they're still down there right before this, we should probably do Terminal 1.
Yeah, let's go take a look at Terminal 1. We leave the door slightly ajar, just as it was when we arrived.
So you're going to go from Terminal 3 to Terminal 1?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This one you arrive at, and the door actually has a plaque on it that says Stormhawks, and underneath the plaque is the names of Geralt Hun and Kara Tull.
Did you say Kara Hook?
Kara Tull.
Oh, sorry.
His name's familiar. Are those Kara Hun in particular? Is that one of the Twi'leks? Or am I misremembering?
Geralt Hun is not.
What about the other one though?
Kara Tull is not is not either.
No, it's
Okay. They weren't on the auction list for
No.
bidders.
They are not.
Kara Hun?
Kara Tull and Geralt Hun.
Carol. Okay. Gotcha.
Oh well. He tries this door. Locked.
It is locked.
You see, it's more professional. This being Altor's style, before he even attempts to pick a lock properly, he's going to look and see if the door has structural weaknesses that would allow him to circumvent it entirely.
I know. I'm not even gonna have you roll for it. The walls are essentially like a solid stone,
Mhm.
and the door is a solid, sturdy metal frame. You'd be able to make your way through it with some equipment and some time, but it's not going to be quiet either.
Hinges on my side or their side?
We'll say it's on their side.
That's smarter.
Honestly, it's not even hinges. These doors are going to be more the type of doors that slide into the wall.
Pocket doors.
There you go.
Yeah. They're weak at the track, but if this is embedded in stone, the track's probably not accessible very easily.
Yeah, that sounds like a great description. There is a electronic pad on the door that appears to have it's going to be like your normal numeric pad.
Mm-hmm. All right. Altor's going to try a quick low skill attack and dust the pad.
Okay.
If they're not very fastidious about cleaning it, it should at least reveal what keys are commonly used to enter.
We'll say that, yeah, that actually works. You do see which keys are commonly entered.
Okay. Altor's pointing this out to IG. He says, well, I get us this far. Some combination of these numbers, given number used, we can estimate how many digits roughly. For breaking, would you wish to do honors?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. All right. The droid will walk up and just kind of start rapidly punching in sequences of like the 4 commonly pressed numbers.
So
Just using like machine dexterity and rapid movement. Just
give me
click, click, click.
give me a hard computers check. So 3 purple.
Gotcha. Oh, yikes. Somebody noticed.
A success is a success, damn it.
So, yeah, you go through so many codes, you manage to get it, and the door slides open.
Awesome.
I'm a little disappointed you guys haven't killed anyone yet. Just saying.
That's not what we do here.
We haven't run into anyone yet.
All right. Altor says, good work. Now, brute force attack often draws attention. We must be faster here. But yeah, I have practiced. So, walk in. What do we got?
Yeah, kind of scan the room, make for.
So as you walk in, I'm gonna say that the rest of the group actually turns the hall just as you walk into this berth. And as you walk in, you hear 2 droids shout, "Cease and assist." Or no, not assist.
Desist.
Yes, desist. That's the word.
They're talking to us. Cease and assist us.
Yes, no.
Okay.
Wait.
So these 2 droids have just pulled weapons on Altor.
Are they in the berth?
Yes.
Altor holds up all 4 hands and says, IG.
IG's gonna pull out 2 guns and also point them at Altor. And then try to reason with the droids.
Okay. Give me your best reasoning. This is going to determine the difficulty of your deception roll.
All right.
K2 slapping what's his name?
Droid brothers. This meat. I've been chasing this meat. You've got to help me get, with this meat. It's been running amok, and it's just disgusting.
I love it when he talks dirty like that.
Did you see how fat he is?
It's
This is an excellent argument for continuing to point guns at Altor.
I'd like to try and convince the droids that they don't need to take orders from some organic.
Okay, so
Like,
not so much a perception as...
No, more like you don't need to be doing any of this. You could
Trying to
Not-
recruit him to your
More
droid.
like, have you heard about my new religion?
Have you heard about making your own choices?
Is there a leadership?
I was just gonna say the route you're going. I'm gonna have you roll a 3 purple leadership.
Oh, sweet.
Oh Lord.
I'm going to use some force on this.
Okay.
Do it.
So that gives me a purple. Oh, fuck.
Out here rolling blanks.
So one of the droids is actually going to is going to sheath his pistol, but out of the shoulder is going to appear this giant kind of, it looks like a grenade launcher, but the front of it is actually got what appears to be kind of a net on it. That becomes pointed at Altor, and the other droid turns his pistol onto UIG. And this is where we're all going to roll for initiative.
Ha-ha.
You want me to?
I
as
like
well?
that. Just like puts away the pistol. Oh, puts away the pistol. Oh, it's done. It's done fighting us.
Yeah, I'm gonna have everyone here because since you've actually, while this was going on, and you managed to get to the doorway just as IG was giving his grand rebel brethren speech.
Okay.
I think, yeah, there it is.
Full
Wait,
initiative here. Yeah,
how do I
where is
roll?
this in here?
All right, so we're going to start initiative roll. So what you'll end up doing is you're going to roll. I don't believe it's the cool one.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's vigilance, I
Yes.
think.
Yes. So yeah, we'll just have you roll vigilance.
3 successes, 2 advantages. Delta is good at vigilance, actually.
1 success, 1 advantage, 1 triumph.
There you go.
Oops,
All
there's
right.
an
Nice.
element too.
So let
Right.
me roll for the security droids.
There we go. Oh.
Let me take that. I want this on Ren.
Don't put that on me.
I'm gonna make an obscure one just so that way it's easier to roll.
Hush, you betrayed us.
Yeah. No, actually, I can do this. Adversaries. It's gonna say wing guard, but ignore the wing there. All right. So one player character gets to go before the droids. Who wants to go first?
If you don't mind.
Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. One sec. I have to resummon my cheat sheet for combat in this game.
Yeah, and we've revised on combat, so I am prepared.
I'm sorry, Altar. I didn't try to bring you into a fight. I know you didn't want to fight anybody.
This is business, you know? These things happen.
Did you find your cheat
So
sheet?
I get 2 maneuvers. That's my species feat, is I get 2 maneuvers for free,
Including the Heimlich.
including the Heimlich. So, first thing to do is take maneuvers to get behind cover.
Okay.
Whatever's available, you know?
So you look around the room and you find there's actually the closest thing to you appears to be barrels of what you assume are some type of gas or chemical.
A good thing to hide behind.
Can I make a quick assessment if it is explosive or pressurized?
From what you can tell, it's not pressurized, but you can't tell what's in there.
You can assume what's in there. You're in a.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a.
Well, you don't want to normally keep high explosives in the garage because it's actually a very sparky environment most of the time. So I will bank on that.
It's likely some type of like grease or oil.
Both of those are only moderately flammable, you know, so I'll take it. I will take cover behind the barrels.
Okay.
I get another maneuver. First assess what to spend on. What is the layout of the garage? Give us a rough layout here.
It's going to be a relatively, I'd say, a medium-sized room. In the center of the room is going to be the car up on these like hydro jacks. You're hiding behind containers that are on what I'll say is the left side of the room. The right side of the room has all sorts of modern day equipment and tools. On the back wall appears to be spare vehicle components and extra parts for if the vehicle needs upgrades or breaks down in the middle of a race.
Mm-hmm.
The droids are going to be standing what is essentially in front of the vehicle because the vehicle is pulled into the spot, so the front window is facing the back wall.
I'm gonna try one more bluff. From his position behind the barrels, Altor will call out, "Do not shoot! Do not shoot! We get wrong garage."
Go
I hope this.
Go ahead and roll deception. This is going to be a 4 purple deception.
4 purple.
Yeah.
We still have 2 force dice.
Looks at all
I'm
the
starting
dark
to
side
get.
dice.
I'm starting to get nervous about those dark side tokens.
Yeah.
He's got
Oh,
6 of those. We
I
only
have
2.
plans.
That's just
All right, here we go. So close.
what? You're still rolling for initiative.
It's because stop initiative rolls has not been
There
called
you go.
yet.
I just turned off stop initiative. Sorry about that.
All right, I can re-roll if you like. I'm not sure if it even affects.
Why don't you tell me what you rolled? Go on the other system.
1 failure, 1 threat.
1 failure, 1 threat. Oh, okay. That did show up. So yeah, no, they don't believe you. If anything, we'll say the one, this may work in your favor. The one that was targeting IG has switched back to you.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
Is that your
All
turn?
right, that's me burn basically everything, so you can move on to whoever's got the next slot.
Okay. Which is the 2 NPCs. So, we're gonna say the first droid actually is going to kind of close the distance and they're going to move their way between the canisters you're hiding behind and the vehicle into trying to make like a flanking maneuver. So they're essentially between you and the main large garage door.
When they cut it off.
You can't go yet.
I notice.
He's gonna move to there, and for an action, he's not gonna take one.
Okay.
The other one is the one that actually had that launcher over its shoulder.
Mhm.
Is going to move its way around to where he's now in between you and IG, but he's facing IG. Its launcher has swiveled to face you, though.
Okay.
And for its action, it's going to attempt to ensnare you in a net.
All right. I would like to, if you don't mind, still have my +1 range defense from having taken cover.
Oh, yeah, you'll get that.
Okay. I don't know how it applies. I leave that to you.
Yeah, it adds a black dice to the roll.
Okay.
But I'm going to spend one of my fate dice or force dice.
Dun, dun, dun. To get a boost.
Yes. So it's going to move in, and between we're going to say that with the one that's trying to flank and this one cutting you off, it's kind of startled you, so you've jostled back from cover ever so slightly to where that defense has been kind of nullified.
Oh.
So let's see, this is going to be 2 yellows and a green. And let me check the range on this.
Nah.
Is short range. Which I believe is 2 purple. No, that's 1 purple. All right, so let me roll for that. So, 2 successes.
Ouch.
So you have found yourself just
Very tangled.
Yes, and you know what? I'm gonna re-roll because I did not add the boost and the setback dice. So we're gonna nullify the 2 successes.
Appreciate it.
So we're gonna add the boost. We're gonna add the setback. We're gonna re-roll that.
3 successes.
Oh, no. Nice knowing you.
Oh, you can take those right back.
So your soak is the same as what you have on the stream, right?
What?
I soak, but I'm not sure that applies to non-lethal weapons.
Ah,
Um,
it does. Yeah, it does.
it does. This is going for an ensnare, so it's not going to. Well, what is your soak?
3.
Your soak is 3.
My soak is 3.
So this is going to equal that. So this isn't going to do any damage to you. But because of the advantage, you're going to find yourself entangled in the net.
All right.
Just as a note, you may want to correct his sheet on the stream because it says soak of 8.
Soak of 8. Damn.
No, that's
That's why
accurate.
when I was watching it the first time, I was like, "Jeez."
Yeah, that's a typo. And not typo. That's a fat finger.
No, it's on the stream. It's real.
Yeah,
it's
that's-
canon.
It's real.
That's
that's-
just how it is.
Going
I'll
from
torch
3 to
this
8, that's a
really
real fat finger.
I'm not sure how you achieve a soak of 8 in this system.
You're a hut.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, a hut in heavy armor.
Hut, yeah, I think huts like natively have a soak of 5, just because they're so bulky.
I think it's big.
All right, so yeah, no, it hits you. You're just entangled in this net right now. So you're gonna find yourself immobilized when your turn comes around next.
Seems fair.
You do have an ability to try and break free from the net, which will be a hard athletics check. So just keep that in mind for when your turn comes around.
Will do.
All right, so your turn has ended, and both NPCs have gone. So we are on another player character. Who wants to go next?
Dibs.
All right.
After you.
Sorry, you guys are still kind of running in from the hallway.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. I would first like to try and maybe thank the droids for helping me catch the meat.
What
see if
is
I
it you're
can-
trying to accomplish?
I'm trying to get them to like stand down and acknowledge their victory so that we can, I don't know, maybe get them to.
You're doing this
You're the
at,
most passive aggressive IG unit I know.
I know.
and you're doing this
know
at
what
gunpoint.
You know what?
Probably doesn't believe they shoot him.
He
Okay,
pointed his
you know
gun
what?
at Altor, if I recall correctly.
There is nobody pointing guns at me.
Yeah, there is. Oh, wait, no, they're both American.
Yep.
There was briefly.
No, you know what? All right. I have 2 guns. I have 2 hands. There are 2 targets. Can I shoot both of them in the face?
You can attempt to.
I would like to attempt to just shoot both of them in the face.
All right, so you're gonna do the dual wielding rules.
While thanking them.
Yes, thank you for your service. Blam blam. All right. So, do you recall how the rules for dual wielding work?
No.
All right. So, to hit. So, all right, when you dual wield, are they both weapons? Are the weapons the same?
Yes. It is 2 blaster pistols.
Okay, so you're gonna
Ranged,
have the same
ranged
skill.
skill ranged light.
Okay, so same skill, same difficulty. You're going to add a +1 to the difficulty. So you're going to have an extra purple added on.
Okay.
So this will
So I
be
just put a purple.
so short range will end up being 2 purples instead of 1.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll for the first hit. We'll break this down.
Gotcha.
So you have 2 successes and 1 advantage.
Nice.
Yes. They have a soak of 5. So you don't hit. It deflects off their armor.
I think he still adds his weapon damage.
My weapon damage says 6.
Oh, okay. No, you're right.
Yeah, I think it's weapon damage plus every success past the
Yep.
original success is another point.
So it's an 8.
That is true. That is true. All right, so you do hit.
Yay.
Thank you.
And you had how many advantage? 1 advantage?
1.
5.
To hit with the additional weapon, you have to roll or spend 2 advantage or 1 triumph for the second weapon to hit.
Mm,
So you have 1 advantage, so you're not able to hit with the second weapon, but you do have some options that you get from that advantage. So you could, like, if you have strain, you can recover 1 strain. You could add a boost dice to an ally's next check. So, like, you can be like, all right, I hit the first one, second shot goes wide, ends up shooting out the hydro lift on the vehicle, causes a clatter, distracts one of the guys. So you can create a scenario like that where you have an ally gets a bonus.
okay.
Or you can notice a particularly interesting detail.
Can I call out to the rest of the group running in from the hallway?
Yeah.
These droids won't listen to reason. Ren,
All right.
that.
Okay.
So he's
I'd like to use like my advantage to add a boost to.
You're giving him a boost. You're kind of negotiating the scenario so he can end up in a more advantageous position, essentially.
Like the second shot was more to corral the second droid into a position that's more favorable for Ren to backstab him.
Okay.
Like just to get him to dodge in a specific direction, not necessarily to hit him, but to like make him move to the left or something.
And you said the damage you did was 8, right? So you ended up doing 3 damage to this thing.
Cool.
all I heard was Ren, sick balls.
All right, so that ends.
So what kind of bots are these specifically?
As far as you can tell, they're some type of security droid.
Are they bipedal?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And their backs are to me.
One of them is facing you. The other, we'll say one of them, the one farthest from you, their back is towards you from when they tried to, or from when they dodged IG's shot.
All right. And the one that he called out to me, which one is that?
That's the one that's backs to you, which is the furthest one.
All right. All right. So I'm going to bolt at the one that's backs to me, the one he called out. Just like not even like pausing to think about what I'm doing. Bolting full speed. And I'm going to try to launch into the air and come down on my knees on this thing's back and push it forward while driving my daggers into it. Trying to land it on the ground, even if I don't drop it completely.
Okay. So your movement, the room's small enough. We'll say you're able to go from short range to engaged range to give you that type of maneuver.
So you want an athletics roll or anything first, or?
No, we'll say you'll just be able to pull that off.
Okay.
Not going to overcomplicate this.
Just the melee roll then.
But do me a favor. Just to keep it simple, do you want to spend a force dice to ensure that it stays simple? Because you kind of created a story element.
Yeah, sure, why not? Unless anyone has any reason not to, which I will.
Hey, hit it. He's only got so much ammo he can use at once, you know.
Right.
Fair.
Right.
All right, so melee roll.
Yes.
What do you want me to add to it?
You're just going to do your melee roll, and for you're engaged, so it'll be 2 purple.
And then the force dice.
The force dice is what got you to be able to do the maneuver to get into the position that you're talking about.
All right. 2 successes, 2 advantages.
There you go. What's the crit threshold on your weapon?
2.
There you go. You just triggered a crit.
Yes.
So you hit this thing. Like you pull off that death-defying maneuver, sink your weapon into this droid. Do me a favor, roll a D100.
Oh my.
I want to see what kind of damage you do to this thing.
90.
Jesus.
Oh, wait. You also have that thing that boosts your crit.
Yeah,
right?
you do.
Yeah, I have the lethality or whatever.
You read off, can you read off what that does real quick?
Lethal blows. I have to pull it up.
Yeah, pull
on
it
the
up.
Empire roll.
I think I can't remember if it adds 10.
Pretty sure it adds 10.
Yeah.
Lethal blows plus 10 per rank of lethal blows to any critical injury rolls on inflicted opponents.
So
Passive.
Does that make it 100?
many
that moves
ranks
it from 90
lethal
to
blows?
100. Yes. So
That sounds good.
use a
Yes.
use a dagger, right?
Yeah, the vibro knife.
So you have crippled this thing to where one of its limbs is inoperable. So describe to me how you picture this limb being.
All right, so I walk in, I see the situation, and in a moment of just pure muscle memory, I launch at this thing, like just step into the air, come down, both knees on this thing's shoulders, dragging my dagger into its shoulder right above its arm. It hits into the ground. The dagger slices completely through with the vibration, completely severing the arm, which just goes skittering across the way. And Ren looks up at the other robot and points at him.
All right. So you've severed its. You said its arm.
Yeah, is he prone too?
No,
Oh, I didn't knock him down.
but you.
So I'm riding him.
Yeah. Yes, you're riding him with like hanging on to your dagger in its like shoulder.
Even better.
So that's gonna be Ren's turn. Who's left? Who's next?
Gonna glance back at Arden like, you any good in a fight?
Jump into that right away. I take I throw aside my backpack and I run up to the nearest box or crate or whatever it is. Well, first of all, I want to ask: is there a terminal nearby? I mean, one that like the plugs you can get into, or
Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah, I'm
the,
assuming.
and you could easily break into the terminal on the front, but there's computer terminals all over for
Yeah, okay.
diagnostics.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw aside that backpack. I'm just gonna take cover behind the box. I'm gonna hold up the hold up blaster and fire over the box
Okay.
with looking.
Oh no, just ignore me, okay? Fuck you.
Which one are you shooting at? The one that's closest to IG or the one that is being ridden by?
I'll avoid Ren.
Okay.
So I'm looking here. I just want to double check if I add the dice here. I don't know if that makes. I don't know what that means. Oh well, I was looking. So I need to roll the
So
two
you're
that I have for the weapon.
You're shooting your blaster, right?
Yeah.
So I think you have the holdout, which is going to be you're adding 2 greens.
Yep, 2 greens.
And then you'll add with your distance, you'll end up adding 1 purple.
Okay.
Since you're not shooting at Ren, there's not going to be any setback.
You're saying it'd be a setback if you did?
If he was firing at you who's engaged, yeah, there's a setback.
Oh, right.
Because if he rolls despair, you get shot.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so yeah, go ahead and roll to shoot at the IG that just.
Yep.
All right, 1 success and your damage is 5, right?
Yeah. I got what's their soak? 5.
Yes.
Clearly, this is ineffective.
Well, there's
You
soak's
could've
5,
said-
so you do 6 because your damage is 5 plus the 1 from the success, so you did 6. So you do 1 damage, and you have 1 advantage.
Yeah, I'll give the advantage. I'll add the blue die to the next attack
Okay.
or the next roll.
Delta comes in a little bit after you. Like, you could have just said no. Fine. Try to find a terminal. There's probably security on the way. We'll need a way out.
Will do.
And Delta is going to like run over and slide, like baseball slide behind a crate. And she is going to take out her cryoban rifle. Quick question: is anybody close enough that like it's melee time?
I mean, Ren is engaged with one.
I'm literally hanging on one of them.
The other one, how is that one? Like, is that one within like melee range?
Oh yeah, that's that one's closest to you, so it'd be real easy for you to engage.
Okay, I'm going to go up to that one actually, rather than baseball slide behind a crate. I'm actually going to hold out my hand and like grip it like this, and as I do, a shield flares around it, a little like force buckler, and I'll grip my other hand a little thunk, as my sap gloves activate, and I'm going to run up to that guy, and I'm going to just try to sucker punch this motherfucker.
Okay.
Yes. Now you're speaking my language.
So I'm going to spend one of my dark side dice or dark side tokens. And as you're running up to engage it, you end up stumbling ever so slightly on a loose screwdriver that is rolling around on the floor. And you're going to have a black dice added to your roll to compensate for the stumble.
You don't have to smile so big when you say this.
And what's the difficulty normally?
2 purple.
Okay.
So it'd be 2 purple and 1 black that you add.
1 success, 2 advantages.
All right.
Perfect. As I do that, I'm going to like run up to him. I do
So the damage on the sap gloves is going to be your brawn plus 2.
2 plus 1. So this is a total of 6.
So you do 1 damage. You pass
1 damage, and I'm going to activate the concussive quality of my sap gloves. And as I slam the glove into this thing's head, it causes a the servos in it to spin basically, and it's concussed for 1 round, basically meaning it can't take any action.
Okay.
And that will be my turn. Unless I do it, can I take another maneuver?
No.
Okay.
Unless you have an ability that gives you 2 maneuvers.
I thought there was like a strain thing you can take.
Yeah, that's true. You could take on a point of strain for a second maneuver.
Okay, I'll take a point of strain to activate my defensive stance ability.
You can use 2 advantages to gain another maneuver.
I want to stun that guy.
Okay.
You're going to do what with that extra maneuver?
The extra maneuver, I'm going to activate defensive stance.
Okay. All right. That brings it back around to a player character who wants to go first this round. We're on round 2.
Altor will pass. He's a little tied up at the moment.
I'll take it if no one else will.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right there in melee, so yeah.
All right, so I'm still hanging on this one.
Yep.
He looks definitely worse for wear, I'd assume.
Yeah, I mean, one of its arms is just kind of shooting sparks out of it, and it's hanging limp by its side.
And the other one's right next to me.
Yeah, and we're talking maybe 5 feet away.
Okay, so
maybe 10.
I'm gonna leave the 1 dagger in the one, and I'm gonna just kind of try and set my feet on it, and push off of it onto the other one, hopefully pushing it down in the process.
If you want to spend a force token, I'll let you be able to knock it prone and pull off that maneuver.
Anybody have any qualms with that?
Sounds pretty badass. We got this ninja who just jumped on a droid and dismembered it and then leapfrogged off on the droid. He's playing the floor is lava right here. It's
that sounds about right.
Floor is lava, Star Wars edition.
Also, I want to know. I went for a stun attack with that one, so 1 strain damage would not rather than 1 wound damage.
Oh, so he's stunned too. Even better.
He just takes strain damage from it.
Okay. So what do you want? You use the force dice. You want me to just roll melee again, or?
Yeah, you'll roll the melee damage. The force dice was just to knock the one that you did the crit on. That one's now prone from the maneuver that you pulled off.
Okay. And then the 2 purples to strike the other.
Correct.
0 successes and 3 advantages.
So you don't do enough damage for a crit to activate, but
Okay.
you do create a situation. So like with 3 advantages, there's a number of things that you do. If you don't, do you need me to read them off, or do you have the cheat sheet?
Let's see.
So
Go ahead and read them all.
You can ignore penalties from terrain. Not really going to impact you here right now. Oh wait, I'm reading the starship maneuvers. This doesn't. It's like, wait a minute. Ignore gravity. What?
Nice.
You can negate an enemy's defensive bonus until the end of the current round. You can ignore penalizing environment effects. And this is outside of getting an extra free maneuver, things you can do from the lesser ones. You can have an attack disable gear. But
I'll tell you what.
Go ahead.
I'll simplify. I'm going to go with the first one you said, disable his defensive.
Okay. You could do that, or you could actually take a defensive point as well.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to disable his defensive bonus by, like, I'll hit him and then wrap my arms up under him and kind of put him in the full Nelson. And then can I use a strain to strike him one more time while I've got him pinned?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
All right, I'll add a strain and then try to hit him one more time. Yeah, how 2 purples again?
Yeah.
2 successes.
What's your brawn?
Oh, yes. 3.
You managed to equal its soak, so you didn't exceed the soak, so you didn't do any damage to it.
Is this including negating his defensive bonus?
Yeah.
All good. I still stuck him.
That brings
So
up.
is he grappled still?
Yeah, I mean Ren's engaged with him.
Full Nelson.
He's not immobilized from the grapple, but his turn, he's going to actually spend his turn essentially grabbing his head and readjusting it from the concussion caused by QV.
Okay.
So that's
He's having a bad day. And the other one's on the ground.
right. So that one is going to spend its maneuver kind of lifting itself off of the ground.
With 1 arm.
Yeah. And it's going to use its pistol and its one good arm to shoot at. It's going to shoot at Ren.
Why ever would it do that?
Does it have that despair dice or whatever?
It is going to get a setback dice because its comrade is engaged. This is going to be using a built-in blaster pistol.
I hope it hits its comrade.
We'll find out. So it's going to be 2 yellows, 1 green. This is short range with engaged. So this is going to be 2 purple and 1 black. 3 successes, 2 threats. What's your soak, Ren?
My soak is 3.
Do you have a defense?
I do have a heavy cloak. It does. I don't think it counts as armor.
Yeah, it doesn't count as armor. Because I'd re-roll if that was the case. All right, so you end up. You said you have 3
Yeah.
soak. So this thing does 6 damage. So a total of 9.
Oh,
Ow.
Yeah. So how much total over that is your success? Or over your soak?
3. So 6.
So you take 6 damage.
6 wounds. All right.
And
It hurt, but I'm still standing.
it does give you, you'll get, anyone on your team can have 1 free maneuver or get a extra bonus dice added from this
Okay.
because of the threat that it had generated.
Still standing.
All right. Did you add your wounds?
I did.
Okay.
And my strain.
All right. Who's next?
Objection.
overruled. No. Go ahead.
How dare you shoot my meat?
Aw, he called me his meat.
And I'm going to take my turn to shoot all of the blaster pistol. Both of them.
So you're going to do the dual wield again? Or the dual?
I have 2 pistols. I have 2 hands. It makes sense that I would be dual wielding them until I have a long gun, I think.
Okay.
Yes. So I am dual wielding them.
All right. So it'll be a difficulty of 2 purple.
Okay.
You're going to add a black dice to your roll because Ren is engaged.
Okay.
But you get the bonus.
So you can also do add a blue from the previous threat that was caused.
Okay.
For how big that dice pool is, I expected more.
Me too.
So that is.
It didn't hit me.
I'm just a humble killer.
So what was the? So you only one of your
It's-
pistols is going to hit.
Okay. It says. What am I looking at?
So that's 3 damage that you caused to one of them.
Okay.
Which one do you want to hit?
The one that shot Ren. I think that's the one that's closest to me, right?
No, that one's a little further from you, but it is the one that just shot Ren.
Yeah. The one that just shot Ren.
Okay. So you hit this thing, you land it square in the chest, leave some scorch marks on it. And that will move into next PC.
Gosh.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Did Taj join us?
Delta is going to kind of like shuffle around, ducking and weaving as she like tries to close in, and she's going to try to hit him with another brawl check. That's gonna be difficulty 2, right?
For melee, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So gonna go for that brawl. Ooh, 2 failures, 2 advantages. So I keep going for those swings, can't quite get them, but I am going. I don't think I can concuss him because I didn't hit. I am going to try to give myself a little bit. Am I able to give myself a little bit extra like evasion against him?
And you can make an extra maneuver. You can add a setback dice to them, or you can do a bonus on the next ally's turn.
Perfect. I'm gonna keep the, even though I'm not connecting, I'm gonna keep the pressure on him and I'm going to drive him back, keep him on the back heels so that he can't quite retaliate as easily. Going to give him a setback die effectively.
Okay, so this is the one that Ren's is or is not engaged with.
He's not attacking, the one I've been fighting.
Okay,
The one-armed one.
the one-armed
And I'm going to use another point of strain and another point to activate my defensive stance again.
Okay. Remind me if I roll against you to add setbacks.
Mhm.
All right. So who's next?
I believe it should be Arden.
Well, I am going to go ahead and use my skills where I can. I'm going to go ahead and access the nearby terminal there, and I'm going to go ahead and start doing the looking for the security. I'm going to disable the security, anything that's going on around here. I disable any alarms. Get us prepared for our escape out of here.
Okay. Give me a 2 purple computers check.
Okay.
One success, one advantage. So you do manage to get into the security system for here.
Okay.
We'll say you're able to erase any of the security footage of what occurred here.
Okay.
As well as you have full control over the essentially like the fire control system. You'll have access over the door locks. You can remotely open the garage doors. So
Okay.
you do have those accesses now.
Okay. Maybe for the advantage, say, since I have access to the fire, maybe the fire suppression, it sprays down like I'm imagining the extinguisher fire spray and gives a setback dive to the next enemy's attack.
Okay.
Oh, that's even more badass than you think. Like, if it's a hangar of some sort, it's gonna like have one of those suppression systems that just like fills the room with that expanding foam shit that just eats all the oxygen in like 2 seconds.
Kills everyone in the room that has to breathe.
That's not you.
Because droids
Like,
because droids don't have to breathe.
no, I mean like we have like 10 seconds to like get out of the fucking room, but also mission accomplished because they won't be able to use that race car tomorrow.
I with my breath mask, fist bump IG.
Is Altor still tangled in the
I'm
net?
netted.
This is going to bring up Altor's turn. So the fire control system goes off, and we're going to say they're actually located directly above where the droids are standing. So they come down and just engulf the droids, obstructing their views.
Okay.
I'm just picturing Altor sitting in the net, just stuffing his face with squibs, watching the excitement.
All right, Altor, you are currently located near these chemical canisters wrapped in rope.
I am. This is no time for squibs.
Bullshit.
All right. So I figure breaking is a skill check, so that takes the action. I'm going to functionally attempt to give myself advantage with my maneuvers. So I'm going to burn one of my maneuvers to draw either from my pack or from nearby if there's something handy, something sharp to help disentangle myself from this net, cut my way out.
If you want to spend a force dice, we will say
I
that
will
you
be
find
spending a force dice, yes.
you find there just happens to be a box cutter sitting on top of one of these canisters that had gone unnoticed.
Beautiful. So I will spend a maneuver grabbing that and burn an action to cut my way out of this net. What roll would you like me to make?
We're going to say go ahead and roll a 2 purple athletics check with
All right.
a blue bonus dice for cutting through the ropes.
Will do.
There you go.
I'm out.
Dang, 4 arms.
So what we'll say is since you were entangled in that rope for a period of time, with the advantage that you got, you've recovered a point of strain. You managed to kind of catch your breath.
I'm just chilling under my rope blanket.
Yeah, that's your advantage. You've recovered strain from just kind of catching your breath.
Altor,
Used to this by now.
So Altor has been sitting cross-legged on the ground, and then these fire extinguishers just begin to fill the room. He says, well, time to go. reaches behind him, gets the box cutter, just slashes the rope and stands upward at the same time. And I will use my final maneuver to make for the door.
Which door? The one you came in through?
Yes, that's the plan.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
IG, Ren?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go or do you want to?
We're making our way to the door, right?
Altor, when he does this, he says, I believe this operation is over.
Like, what?
Well, are they down? I mean, the bots?
These guys are going to give chase, probably.
Yeah, I mean, are the
I'll-
bots down?
I'll set
What,
the doors
what,
to close right after we leave.
what kind of an effect did we get on the fire suppression system?
Well, more importantly, here's the thing. Like,
how-
unless
how-
somebody tells me to, these things, I'm not moving until they're not moving.
Might be good to actually disable these droids.
Hey, you're welcome to do as you like. You guys can continue on without Altor, but that's what he's up to.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
mean,
I
going
need
to
a
pick up.
decision on who's going next.
I'm going to pick up the severed arm and just start beating the ever living hell out of these things with it.
Okay. So its arm wasn't cut cleanly off. It was still on and sparking. So are you going to try and tear it off from?
If I got to.
He's gonna have an arm to hit with.
I'm going to disarm the robot.
Roll. Roll a. I don't even know what to do with this one. I'm debating between. You know what? Let's do your weapons attack.
You don't want athletics to rip it off? Or?
And you can. What?
Maybe a brawl.
Yeah, I'll give you an option. You can either use your knife to try and cut it off, or you can go and try and rip it off with athletics.
I'm going to rip it off with athletics. I actually left my knife stabbed in each one of them.
Okay.
Like one's in one, one's in the other.
All right. Go ahead and give me an
Any
athletics.
purples?
This is since you managed to inflict the damage that you did. We'll just go with a standard 2 purple.
2 purple.
Yep, an average.
1 success, 3 advantage.
So you managed to grab this thing, put your feet up against its large leg, tear with all your might, and rip this arm off of this thing. You don't get a chance to beat it with the arm this turn.
Well, ripping its arm off, how much damage does that do?
We'll go with the same amount of damage you did the first time, so we'll go with 3 damage to it.
All right. So is it still functional, this thing?
Yeah, I mean it's got another arm.
I'm going to spend another point of strain to just beat the crap out of it then.
Well, with that, I let it slide the first time, but you only get 1 action. With the strain, it gets you a movement, not another
Okay.
action.
All right, I'll hold off then.
But
Nice
You
round,
receive a
Ryan.
maneuver.
with your 3 advantages, how do you want to spend those? You can get like a defense. You can take away one of theirs. You can remove an environmental if you wanted to try and create an environmental condition.
I'll create an environmental condition.
How?
I'm going to leave my foot on the one that I just ripped its arm off of, so it can't get up.
Okay.
Like I'm still standing on it, ripped its arm off, my foot's still on it.
Okay. That'll work. So both of these are encased in cloud, kind of smoke. One of them, the one that's prone, is actually going to try and use its brawn to try and push against yours. So what is your athletics, Church?
That's actually 1 yellow, 2 green.
1 yellow, 2 green. So his, let me check his sheet. So he's going to have, just going to do 2 green against 1 red. And you said you had a yellow and 2 green?
Yes.
So it's going to try and use its brawn against your athletics. And it failed completely.
Yes. Yes.
The other
Let
one,
your failure course through you.
the other one is going to just use its blaster and just start to blindly fire around the bay based on
Made a
the
robot
sounds.
panic.
So that
Here's the first time I feel threatened.
So I'm gonna roll. There's 5 of you, so I'm gonna roll a 10-sided dice to see who it shoots. Church, you're
Is-
1.
Higher chance of it coming after me because I'm like currently laying a lot of pressure in it, like punching it and whatnot in its face.
Yeah, me as well. I'd say I'm right up there with him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance it is, but since it's kind of blind firing because of the fire system that just came down,
Fair enough.
I'm gonna say Church and Typo, you're number 1 and 2.
If you want, I'll take an additional number since I'm right up in these things' faces.
Do you
Take one off someone else.
Okay. Who do you want to take it off of?
Altor. He's the furthest
Since he's-
away. I'll take
and
one
since
off.
he's
Altor.
running for the
appreciate it.
door. Okay.
I'll take it off of Arden since this one's the one I'm focusing on, so I'm like actually in its guard essentially.
All right. So Church, you're 1 and 2.
Kindly.
Typo, you're 3 and 4. Ginkgo, you're 5. So 4.
Yay.
All right. So if this attack hits, it'll hit Typo. Or
Okay.
All right. So
It has a setback die and an increased difficulty.
oh yeah, it's gonna. So this is gonna be 2 yellow and a green, but it's
Mhm.
gonna have a setback dice from the smoke. It's gonna have a setback dice from QV's pressure. And it's going to have I'm going to give it 3 purples because it's blind firing.
Mm-hmm.
0 successes, 1 threat, 1 triumph.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Okay.
So
Real mixed bag there.
yeah. So let's see. It would normally suffer a strain or lose a benefit prior to a maneuver. If it moves, I'm just gonna say it's gonna lose its maneuver next turn. The triumph, though, it is going to Typo. Your next attack
Mm-hmm.
is going to have a setback on it. So the blind firing, it kind of just whizzes past your face, causes you to stumble back ever so slightly, taking some of the pressure off of it, and is going to create a setback on your next attack.
Okay. As it does that, I am going to take a step back, level my cryoband rifle at it, and I'm going to take a shot.
All right.
Let's ranged light. And I believe that's a 1 difficulty. Do I get a bonus die because of the foam?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Okay. 1 failure. Miss.
All right. So the Cryoband shot just goes wide, ends up hitting the wall behind it. Frost kind of forms across the wall. Is that how the Cryoband works?
Yeah. It's
Foam
just
frost everywhere.
a beam of pale blue light lances out from the rifle, skimming across the wall behind it.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I suppose I'll kind of make my way toward the door as well? Because you can't really. I can't shoot him because he's in a cloud of smoke or foam or whatever. I don't know
I think
where
you
he
should take the
is.
shot anyway.
I mean, I have a vague idea of where it was before the foam,
He hasn't
before the
moved.
smoke came down. Like, and I can make a calculation and then like statistical gambling predict like
You do
odds
like
and
to
whatever. I do love to gamble, so I think I have to shoot him.
And you take the shot.
Never mind. I can't make my way to the door yet.
And you can use your
Talk yourself
maneuver.
into it.
You can use your maneuver to make your way towards the door, and still you can do like a retreating, like you're stepping backwards but shooting as you move.
Yeah, okay. Cool. I still have a vague idea of where he was because of like 3D scanning the room actively while I was, droid imaging whatever's. So yeah, I still kind of know where he was.
All right.
So I'll do the ranged light
So
with
you'll have
how much
you'll have 2 purples with a
Okay.
setback dice because everyone's engaged.
Use the
gotcha.
force dice.
I don't believe I'm engaged with my guy anymore. I backed off.
True.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll use a force dice.
So the main target will be. Are you the main target shooting at the one that QV was engaged with?
Well, the other one's on the ground, right?
Yep.
I have clear view of that one,
Okay.
right? Do I?
You do, but Ren's engaged with it, so
Is Ren in the way?
and it's engaged. Your shot goes a little wide.
I'll shoot the one that's like standing
Okay.
and kind of obscured by the fog, but
Okay.
that I still have a gambling odds on hitting because
We'll upgrade the difficulty by 1, so it'll be 3 purple. Or are
Gotcha.
you just shooting with 1 pistol, or are you shooting with both still?
I'll shoot him with both.
Okay, so 3 purple.
Gotcha. Here we go. Oh, that was not great.
All the advantages in the world.
Dang.
Yeah, that's
You scared the heck out of him.
unfortunately you fail.
Oh,
5 advantages.
Do you want to create like an environmental condition to give a bonus to an ally, or negate? How do you want to use your advantage?
we'll call it covering fire
Okay.
in case anybody wants to like make a move or something.
Okay.
Is that a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, we can say that depending on how people want to use it, either someone can use a bonus, or if no one uses the bonus by the NPC's next turn, we'll add a setback to them.
Cool.
If it's still there when I get there, I'll use it.
Okay. Who's the next person to go?
Arden, if you will.
Okay, I will go ahead, and since I've done the computer system that I needed to, I'm going to go ahead and use my maneuver. I'm going to create an assist action similar to what was done just a little bit ago. I'm going to create I'm going to shoot at the droid that's on the ground with the assist action, creating an opportunity for the next attacker, which I'm assuming will be one of the people near melee,
Mm-hmm.
get a bonus die as well. I'm going to use that as my assist action. So I'm going to shoot them with my blaster, and then I'm going to go ahead and use a strain afterwards and make for the door as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and do the assist and then fire.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the 2 green die and
Are-
1 purple, or
Yeah. Are you shooting at the one that Ren has pinned to the ground?
no, I'm gonna stay away from him.
Okay.
I'll end up shooting him.
Right. All right. So that'll be since you're doing just 1, that'll be 2 purple dice that you're shooting at.
Okay. And then yeah, I'll go ahead and roll them dice.
1 success, 2 threats.
Hey.
Okay, well, I got a success, so got a hit in there, and the assist for whoever takes the assist action, and
Alright.
whatever the threats may be.
So you do a point of damage to it, and we're gonna say the one in the smoke gets a free maneuver.
Okay.
So they actually stumble their way out of the smoke, or the
Okay.
foam, or whatever the suppression system is.
I'm gonna take the strain, and I'm gonna head towards the door. My
Alright.
last maneuver there.
All right, next PC's turn.
It's Altor. He's on the way out. He called his shot. He's in the business to not be arrested again, and he knows that hanging around the scene of a crime is a beautiful way to get caught.
I ain't scared.
That's why your rap sheet is longer than his.
Fair, but
why
Not
you
to
have a
say he
lot more
doesn't have
obligation.
one.
Ren probably thinks it's a competition.
All right, so is that your turn? You're just you're moving away.
I'm leaving. I pull up the hood of my concealing robes, and I'm keeping an eye out to see is anybody moving very rapidly towards the first terminal. But apart from that, I'm on my way out of this building.
Okay.
Sorry, we need our brains out of the building.
All right. So this brings back. We're at the start of round 4. Got a player character who can go
Beating the ever-loving hell out of that robot with
with its arm.
severed arm.
I don't even know what to use as a blunt instrument. Let me pull
Straight
up.
melee.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I'm picturing it as being some kind of like
Is there
improvised
like a
mace.
club?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna check for real
It's
quick.
not a vibro club, it's club. Let's
Um,
see here.
So the real question is that bonus still floating around?
yeah.
There might be 2 bonuses, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he's prone for one, then the bonus.
Oh shit! I forgot. Your vibro knives. They have piercing.
Yes.
That's important. It ignores a soak.
That's how
Oh,
he
does
was. That's how he was able to hit the first time. Yeah, because his vibro knives use brawn, so it's brawn +1 or +2, and then it had the pierce. So that's because the first time he only had 2 success, so he normally wouldn't have hit, but the pierce and the plus.
So I've got a prone advantage and a bonus advantage, and I'm beating him with his own arm. That's probably an advantage.
No, we're not going to go overboard here. All right. It's vibro knucklers or something. We're going to do, so we'll do brawn plus 2 is what's going to be.
That's like a gaffy stick. There you go. +2.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that'll be essentially the damage for it. We'll have you roll your athletics as far as the dice pool for yourself.
Oh, you don't want melee?
Oh, do you, yeah. Actually, that's even better. I did not think of that for some reason. Yeah, do melee.
What extra dice?
You're going to add 2 purple to this. No, make it 3 because it's an improvised weapon. It's not something you're like, trained in.
And any other dice for the bonus?
You'll add the blue dice for the boost that you got.
It's a lot of dice. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
3 successes, 2 advantages, 1 triumph.
So you managed to crit with this arm. So what's your brawn?
My brawn is 3.
So 3 plus 2, so 5. You're automatically at the soak there. So you do the 3 base damage. You get 2 advantages for this. So you can do like a maneuver, or you can create a setback, which would be ideal for this thing's next turn. But you crit, so roll a 100-sided dice.
You're gonna have to take that arm with you when you go. It's lucky.
Yeah, it's mine now.
Right?
Well, I was thinking we could give it to Honest Greg as payment, maybe.
Did you roll a 90?
Jeez.
So you're at 100 again. So you so
The other arm.
you take this as this is what's going to happen. You're beating this thing with its other arm. You manage to just let out this just war cry and just whack it on its head. Its head ends up coming loose from its servos and ends up rolling across the floor as its body goes limp from you beating this thing to death with its own arm.
Rin Takamori!
Jeez.
All right, so you just removed one of the NPCs.
Mega flex.
The other one has came out of the foam. It kind of gets a picture of what's going on. It's going to see the droid that's been impacted, or not impacted, been decapitated, and it's going to shoot at Ren because it views it as the biggest threat at this point in time.
I'm scary.
Yeah, it's already used its net, so it's going to do its blaster shot. What's your soak again?
3, I believe.
Okay, so it's going to be 2 yellow, a green, and 2 purple. No, it's only be 1 purple. 3 successes and a triumph.
Oh no! It just
Dun,
got
dun, dun.
Yeah. So this thing just hits with its crit. So you end up taking 3 base damage.
all right. So 3 damage.
Yeah. And now I get to roll on 97.
Oh,
So we haven't tested this thoroughly, but I'm feeling bad things about the random number generator here in RPG sessions.
It likes my numbers.
no matter what happens, I got to rip a robot's arm off and beat it to death with it.
I am going to say when I rolled for obligation earlier, it rolled a 22. So,
Oh, okay, we're not all 90s.
right. But a 97, Church, you're going to end up crippled.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to give you a choice between
What?
your right arm or your left leg.
Any chance I can use a force dice to avoid crippling?
Yeah, you could. Do you have a dodge action? It says you can use that incidental or out of turn and just like take a strain to avoid that.
Nah, in a case like this, to avoid a crit, no. And that's kind of a stretch.
Okay.
There's a thing
That's
that lets
fair.
you severity of
Well,
crits.
I tell you what.
Hold on,
Let me
what
check.
was that typo?
There is a move that allows you to reduce the severity of
Yeah.
crits, but
It's a
remember.
talent, I think, right?
yeah.
Well, the dodge I was talking about, that one's a talent too,
Yeah.
but I don't know if he has that one. And
Yeah, and that
yeah,
would
it
have
is a
had to
crit.
have,
So
and it would have had to have been declared, but like before the shot.
yeah, okay, I get it. Nobody's ever attacked me, so I didn't know.
Okay, I'll change that.
Yeah, you can shoot me.
So right arm or left leg, Church?
Technically speaking, they
Right
work.
leg.
All right. So your left leg, you just get hit with this blaster shot right on the meaty part of your thigh. And it cuts through your heavy robes, and you kind of stumble back as you can smell burnt flesh.
Now I'm mad.
Does it drop
Mm.
him?
I'm also mad.
Doesn't drop him, but his movement is going to be impacted, and he's not really going to be pulling off any of those depth-defying athletic jumps and maneuvers until he
Till
heals.
I get a robot leg.
Well, that's an option.
Quick glance over to IG. You okay if we scrap this thing?
Scrap this motherfucker. It shot my meat.
She like pounds her fist together. Tenderize him. I'll close in. You go first.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna shoot him again.
Because if I go in first, it'll make it harder for you.
Fair. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him while
That's
you're
the
kind
type
of.
of strategic thinking that is not allowed.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I worry about my own health.
Ranged light.
So you're gonna try and shoot it with both your pistols.
Yes.
All right, so it'd be two purple.
Okay. Are there any boosts floating around?
Church used the one that was there.
Okay. Then just 2 purple.
One success, one advantage. So, what's the damage on your pistol?
It says it is damage 6, crit 3. So no crit, but damage 6.
Okay. So damage 6 plus the 2 successes. So that's a total of 8 damage. Okay.
Want to send that boost my way?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. And then you get an advantage on your next attack from my.
So you
So how-
managed to hit it with one blaster bolt. It kind of stumbles back from the impact and ends up stumbling right into QV.
Delta's going to tuck low as IG shooting over her head, and she's going to run forward, and her arm is going to begin to her right arm is going to begin to shift, energy pulsing around it, power cells glowing, and she's going to pull it back and go for a haymaker like All Might.
Okay.
That's going to be a roll. That's going to be a boost die. I'm going to spend a force point on that. Oh, my bad. No, fuck. Why is it?
Removed 3 dark side points. That's an incredible talent.
I don't know. Okay, you, GM, help.
What is it you're trying to do?
I was trying to use a light side.
You just click directly on them.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, there we go. I think I needed.
You used 2 there.
Okay. And that's another boost. Difficulty 2. 1 setback. Okay. Roll. Mother!
Oh, no.
But
I managed.
You do create an advantage.
Okay, you know what? I'm still able. Am I still able to activate a weapon quality on a miss, like a clip it or something?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not with a. You have
Damn
to hit.
Right.
Yeah.
So I am going to send one of those boosts to the next. I'm going to impose a penalty onto its next check,
Okay.
as my fist flies just barely past it and slams into the ground, leaving a crater.
Okay.
Nice.
Who's the next? Who wants to go next?
There's a silent moment, and it's just like over her own personal comms. You missed, didn't you?
You totally whiffed it.
Shut the fuck up. It looks
I think
cool.
we're actually on the next PC slot. I think we're on the last one here because Altar's out and I'm the last one here.
And Eltor could still come back in.
Well, yeah, I
Okay.
don't know. I'm just saying that we should be on the next
Oh, got
PC.
it.
We should be one over, yeah.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'm at the doorway waiting for the other two. I'm gonna go ahead and take an aim. I'm gonna spend both maneuvers. I'm gonna take a strain for another maneuver, and aim, which will give me 2 boost die, and I'll shoot the one. There's not one engaged, right? Or are they both engaged? Or, sorry, one's dead. So I'm gonna shoot the other one. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna shoot the one.
That one's not engaged currently.
Yeah, so that's 2 greens and 2 blues to
I
purples.
think I actually might be because I melee.
But you missed, and it stumbled back from the miss. So you'll, in this case, it'll be 1 purple.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, 3
We're gonna have
advantage.
so many advantages.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say. Okay, so yeah, in that process, even though I missed, I'm gonna use the 3 advantages instead of the miss. I blasted the weapon out of its hand because I'm assuming it had a pistol.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I can use the 3 to force a weapon for them to drop their weapon.
So it's a built-in blaster.
Oh, that's okay.
But what I will say is your hit will cause it to kind of jam or be short-circuited for 1 round.
Okay. Take that.
All right, Eltor.
Actions as stated. Do I see anybody on my way out?
Are you leaving the garage, or are you leaving the entire? Like, are you in the hallway, or are you leaving the hallway and being like, screw these guys, they can stay doing what they're doing, I'm going outside?
I am exiting the race complex because I am reasonably confident it will shortly be secured.
So as you're leaving, you actually see a multiple number of city guard vehicles about to close in on the complex.
All right. I do take a moment to discreetly fire up my comlink and notify QV City Guard are on the premises.
Got it. Create a distraction if you can. We'll be out.
And with that, we are going to end this session as the city guard arrive at the complex.
We're gonna kill them too.
What? No, we can't. This is. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So at the start of that combat, I had set an internal kind of mental note that at the beginning of round 5, the police were going to show up. So when Eltor in round 3 was like, "I'm getting out," I was like, "Oh, may actually work out well for their group." And the church is like, "No, I'm staying back and going to continue to fight stuff." I was like, "Even better."
I love that everyone followed Ren.
the worst person to follow.
I was totally willing.
lead.
I was totally willing to leave. Like I gave us the out, but nobody wanted to use that fire method.
I wanted to very badly, and I did.
Yes, yeah, you were the
I
smart ones.
agree. We should have just bolted.
So you still have an opportunity to. You have since we play every other week, you have 2 weeks to think of
Think it over.
how to get out of this situation.
Yikes! This will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, Urban, being the new guy to the group, what are your thoughts?
Enjoyed it. It's been so long since I've been a player. No, it's really, really cool to meet all of you and to actually get to role play with you. I really enjoyed the bar scene. That was fun. Yeah, I think that there's some things again in the combat that are iffy that things that I remember. So, during this time, I might have to go back and read the rules again to see how that worked. I mean, for on the fly, it was great. But
Yeah,
so
and
it-
feel free post in Discord because
Yeah.
those are things as this is my first time running the game. So
Yep.
the rules are things that I'm improving on each session as well. So anyone who's checking this VOD, don't take what I've done in terms of rules as gospel because I'm making it up as I go to an extent. Typo, being the second newest player to the group, you still enjoying?
Why can't I fucking hit anything? Dice, why do you hate me?
Dice are fake, man. Dice are so fake.
I will say the whiffs and the hits were pretty balanced on both sides. These security robots were, they have a high soak, but they also have 14 damage. So they're pretty resilient. So the fact that you finished one off was good. I didn't think that you guys were going to finish either of them off.
With finesse.
Yeah, you can
Church,
keep that arm right.
you're going to have to be dealing with this wound and thinking of how to potentially heal it up in the limited time that you have. So
Robot leg. Definitely robot leg.
you don't exactly have time to get implants right now before the heist.
Yeah, not between this session.
Right. You have to remember.
Stuff some toilet paper in it and wrap it with duct tape. I'll be fine.
Does
Yeah.
anybody have a medicine skill?
No one has. The group does not have a mechanic. Well, we have a mechanic. We don't have a medic right now.
Well, we might have to take a visit to my sister.
Fine. Like toilet paper, duct tape, we're fine.
Church, Ginkgo, Jacob, any thoughts,
Nope.
opinions, critiques?
I think it went fairly smoothly.
I'm content.
Very active, very mechanically heavy session for this campaign. So, it's all to the good.
Are you?
I deserved every damage I took.
So the first 3 sessions were no combat. The
Mhm.
last 2 sessions have involved combat. Do you feel like it's getting too combat heavy? Do you like the combat? Do you feel it's balanced? What are your thoughts?
I think even the combat is narratively appropriate because it would feel awkward if we had a group composed predominantly of violent people and they never got into any fights.
He makes
One
a
of
good
the things that
We do have a very, very violent group makeup.
Yes.
Half of
one
it.
of the things that some friends of mine said when we played before, and this is when I think it was Delta said, "I'm gonna step back and let you shoot first to get the advantage." And Chance, you said, "Well, that's not allowed." I think that what we said in our game sessions is that's not very Star Warsy,
Right.
what they're doing.
Right. No, I enjoyed tonight. I appreciate you guys all carving out time for the session. Does the 19th work for everyone for next game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should still be good for me.
All right. I'll make sure I've been detaching my mic every night, so that way less chance of my kid ruining this mic. So there shouldn't be any technical difficulties that prevent us from continuing.
What did you wind up picking up, by the way? Is that a Shure?
It's a podcast, or it's a Rode Procaster.
Okay, Rode makes good stuff.
Yeah, I went with the XLR versus USB.
Mhm.
Good choice.
All right, I'm going to end out the stream. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. We got a couple of followers tonight. I want to say thanks to Mayday RPG, Mayday something. Ugh,
Awesome.
I feel bad now.
Role play.
Yes, Mayday Roleplay. All right, cool. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for
Not at
listening.
all.
Yeah, GG.